Donald Trump says the U.S. has launched several strikes against Islamic State forces in Nigeria. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said he had ordered deadly attacks in northwest Nigeria's Sokoto state against ISIS terrorists, who he accuses of persecuting Christians. The U.S. government published pictures of a missile being launched from a military vessel, supposedly showing one of the strikes. Trump had been threatening military action in Nigeria over what he calls the slaughtering of innocent Christians. Nigeria's government says armed groups target both Christians and Muslims in the country.
What's your answer?
Let's get more from Nigeria, and we turn to our correspondent, Wesu Idris, who is in Abuja. Wesu, good to see you this morning. What do you make of these developments? Have the Nigerian authorities actually confirmed these strikes that Trump described?
Yes, the Nigerian government has confirmed that the strike happened in coordination with the U.S. It says that it's part of its own cooperation with the U.S. in trying to tackle the insecurity in Nigeria. AFRICOM, which is the African Command, said the attacks happens with its coordination, and they have eliminated some ISIS groups there that are operating. And there is also the lesser-known Lakurawa group that has been operating in that part of Nigeria. Sokoto borders Niger Republic with Nigeria in that axis. So that is what happened.
Right. Trump had threatened such strikes against Islamic State cells over the last couple of months. He talked about the existential threat for Christians in Nigeria. Is this violence that's been shaking Nigeria for years actually linked to religious tensions?
Well, not directly linked to religious tension, but it sparked religious controversy and tension of recent, because we've seen how some Christian leaders went to the U.S., lodged a complaint, and seek for the U.S. assistance, which was the initial problem when the U.S. focused more on Nigeria. The Christians are saying a lot of them are being eliminated, that there is a genocide going on. Well, on the other part, the Muslims are saying no. The number of casualties are more with the Muslims, because if you look at the Northwest, which comprises Sokoto, Zamfara, Kebbi, and partly Kano, you see that it's densely populated by Muslims. But there are also killings in Benue and Plateau, which is densely populated by Christians, and this thing is still ongoing, it's still being reported, but the government kept saying that they are doing their own best to see how they tackle the situation.
So this is a case of groups that are targeting, as you're saying, groups that are targeting both Christians and Muslims. But I mean, it's early morning there in Nigeria. How have locals been reacting to this news as they wake up to hear that the U.S. has carried out strikes in Nigeria?
Reactions are ongoing since early morning, even as early as 1 a.m., 2 a.m. after the strike. If you check the social media, it's awash with this. And if you tune into most of the radio stations, and even after early morning prayers, Muslims are talking about the strike with mixed reaction. A lot of people see it. Let them eliminate these groups who have been terrorizing them. Since the government is becoming either incapable or unable to handle the situation for long, because it is still ongoing even after releasing those who are abducted, even after the government designated any bandit that attack anywhere as a terrorist. But it's ongoing. So, but there are people who are really concerned, because knowing that an attack by U.S. is not a joke to any country. They're looking at the implications that might come in the coming days. It is going to affect businesses. It is going to affect almost everything in the country. So it's a mixed reaction, but hoping that let it be a solution to the problems they are facing, both communities, both religious followers, and the entire country.
Okay. DW correspondent Wesu Idris, thank you for bringing us up to speed.